Hi, good day. I'm back. Today, we are going to talk about personal pronouns. Now, personal pronouns are a certain kind of a word class that we use instead of a noun. If we look at the three persons of the English language, we have the first person, singular and plural, second person, singular and plural, and third person, singular and plural. First person, singular and plural is I and we. Second person is you singular, and you plural. Third person is he, she, it singular. Third person plural is they. So any subject in the English language will fall into one of these three categories. Right? Now, let us see what these personal pronouns are. Now, if we talk about like a sentence, we say John is the principal of our school. Right. In the next sentence, we say John is a clever man. Now, if you are to write both those sentences in that sequence, do we have to say John in the second sentence as well? I don't think so. So we, instead of repeating the name John, we use a pronoun. What is the pronoun? He. John is the principal of our school. John is a clever man. Instead of John, we say in the second sentence, he is a clever man. So instead of John, we used he. So he is used instead of the subject John. Right. So we will be talking about various kinds of pronouns today. And those pronouns will be subject pronouns, object pronouns, possessive adjectives, possessive pronouns, and reflexive pronouns. Well, we'll take the first three for the moment. In the next lesson, we will talk about the possessive pronouns and reflexive pronouns. For the moment, for today's lesson, we will talk about subject pronouns, object pronouns, and possessive adjectives. Now, as I said earlier, we use he instead of John. So, a subject pronoun is used instead of a subject. Right. So, if we say Linda, if we use Linda as a subject, what is the subject pronoun that we would use? She. If we say an animal, what is the subject pronoun that we would use? It. If we say Linda and John, what is the subject pronoun that we would use? They. If you say you and I, what is the subject pronoun that we would use? We. So, instead of using the noun or as a subject in the second sentence, or when it is necessary to use a pronoun, we use the subject pronouns instead of a subject. Now then, we go to the next level, object pronouns. Right. I'm sure most of you would know how to determine an object. Right. So, an object is the recipient of an action verb that takes place. If I say, I called my brother. I called my brother. My brother is the recipient of my action. So my brother is the object here. Who did I call? My brother. Right. On the other hand, if I say, the child broke the window. The child broke the window. What did the child break? The window. So the window was the recipient of the child's action. Right? So this is how we determine the object of a sentence. In my previous video, I have specifically spoke about various kinds of sentences and how to identify various kinds of elements. Now, so when we talk of the object, I becomes, let's say, my brother called me. So I become, I'm the recipient of that action of my brother. So I become me. We become us. You become you. Doesn't change. He becomes him. She becomes her. It stays as it. And they become them. Right. So these are the object pronouns of the English language. How to use an object pronoun? You find out the object and relate that object to that pronoun. Right. Then we move on to possessive pronouns. Now, what is a possessive pronoun? If I say, I would call this, possessive adjectives. Not possessive pronouns, possessive adjectives. Now, if I say, that is a red car. That is a red car. What is red there? The word red, it's an adjective. It describes what the car is, or the color of the car. Instead of using a red car, I would say, that is my car. That is my car. Then, what happens to the word my there? It serves as an adjective. Whose car is that? It's my car. There again, it's a possessive adjective. So, I becomes my in the possessive adjective. We becomes our. You becomes your. He becomes his. She becomes her. It becomes its without an apostrophe. And they becomes their. So there we are. We have spoken about 3 different kinds of pronouns. And in today's lesson, those are the only 3 pronouns that we talk about. Next lesson, we will talk about the other 2 because they are slightly complex compared to these 3. So we will talk about it during the next lesson. And so to recap, let's see what we learned today. Subject pronouns. What do? We place the subject pronoun instead of a subject. As I said, John is the principal of our school. He is a clever man. He is a clever man. In the object pronoun, we say, I called my brother. Instead of my brother, I called him. Right? In the object pronoun. And in the possessive adjectives, we use the possessive adjective as an adjective to a noun. Instead of giving another adjective, we use the possessive adjective to show that we possess, we own that particular object. Understood? Okay. So until we meet again, have a pleasant day, a pleasant week, and we will meet as fast as possible, I promise you.